The housing market is clearly flipping from a seller's market to a buyer's market in more and more parts of the country. I do want to highlight Bigger Pockets this morning. Yes, folks, on Bigger Pockets this morning, there was a video posted of myself and the CEO, Scott Trench, where we dive into the housing market and the fact that it is now a buyer's market. So thanks to the team over at Bigger Pockets. Thanks for Dion and all the work he did behind the scenes. But One Rental at a Time was featured on Bigger Pockets. The video was recorded a couple of weeks back, but it did go public this morning. So it was actually my second time on Bigger Pockets. First time was, I think, over a decade ago with Josh Dorkin. But yes, Scott Trench and I had a wonderful discussion about a buyer's market. But most importantly, what you as an investor or buyer should be doing today. So hopefully you enjoy that conversation. So thank you very much. We are getting a lot more insight into what is going on in the economy. We are starting to see the dominoes start to fall due to the tariffs. We are now seeing the first ships from China arrive at the LA port. And as we talked about the last couple of weeks, lots of sailings have been canceled. The sailings that are occurring are down in quantity. And it looks like, we could be on the cusp of shortages and layoffs, as Torsten Slok indicated right around the beginning of June. So we are starting to see that. Ooh, fighting off a sneeze. That's what happens when you do these things live. So anyways, we are starting to see those details. We're also getting some real-time data about credit card usage. Obviously, we have seen credit cards being used a lot the last year or so with some crazy high balances. But it looks like in the latest 30-day data that consumer credit usage is down. For example, in April, the month that just passed, it was up 2.3%. However, that is down from 2.7% the previous month. So again, we are starting to see consumers pull back. I think we are really on the cusp of, I don't know how Q2 is not negative. Again, we have a government that stopped spending or reduced spending. Private enterprise businesses, large and small, are pulling back. And now we have more and more signs that the consumer is pulling back. The consumer is uncertain. The consumers are doing what they always do. They sit on their hands. They sit on their wallets. But again, folks, hopefully you understand by now, we at One Rental at a Time, we like to be contrarian. I really hope you guys understand what is going on in the real estate world today. We are seeing supply explode, up 30%. It went up 2% week on week, which is crazy. We are in the spring selling season, but as we're hearing from agents across the country, it is dead. It is not really moving, which is going to create more and more opportunities. Days on market will go up. Motivated sellers will go up. The ability for you to do creative deals, with a first and a second, maybe even get all seller carry in the right situations. Our time is here. 2025 is the year of the real estate investor. Please do not do average deals. Do great deals. Do deals of the decade. Do lifetime deals. Make sure you get something that you're proud of. And if you do, let me know. I'll send you a card and congratulate you here publicly. We have gotten some earnings data. Where do we start? We'll go with Electronic Arts first. Electronic Arts beat top line, beat bottom line. Looks like their two popular games were Madden football and college football. I actually can't remember the last time I played a video game, but there's that. AMD did beat top line and bottom line, raised guidance slightly. AMD did highlight, given the China restrictions, they are going to take a $1.5 billion hit. Remember, NVIDIA, I think, took a $5 billion hit. So AMD is there as well. Supermicro missed badly, missed on revenue, delayed customer decisions, and gave weak guidance. Win was the one I was looking for. this week, and it was ugly. Missed top line, missed bottom line. Really highlighted that Vegas is weak. Vegas is weak. Again, we live here, and the Vegas Strip is noticeably slower than it has been in the last couple of years. So pretty interesting there. This morning we got Uber. It too missed on revenue, but beat on earnings. It did highlight that trips were up 18% year on year, which I thought were interesting. Disney came out of nowhere, beat top line, beat bottom line. Actually had a nice jump in streaming subscribers and raised guidance. Let's talk about, Steadily. Steadily, I talked to their CEO yesterday. I think the video comes out today or tomorrow. They just successfully raised $30 million in a funding round. Talking to the CEO, why did they do that? Well, the $30 million predominantly is going to give them a larger war chest so that they can cover more of the country. If you are a landlord, you obviously need to know that Steadily is landlord insurance, really focused on you. But they can't cover everybody yet, right? The war chest is not big enough. This $30 million will allow them to cover more and more of the country. For example, it will allow them to open up New York, right? New York was a market that they wouldn't cover before, but now can. So again, folks, as you see, Steadily is a sponsor of the Daily Financial News. If you are a landlord, you need to know about them. Get a quote, get comparison. They will not be the right answer for everyone by any means. They are a for-profit enterprise that wants to make sure the insurance risk and price is appropriate. But if my comment section is any indication, about half of you, 50% of you, are getting better coverage at better rates. So give them a shot. And don't forget, if you are just getting started and you are building your buy box and you don't own anything, do yourself a favor. Go to Steadily, type in an address, and get a quote. So you're not guessing. It takes you 2 or 3 minutes, and you will get a quote on insurance. So click the link in the description and get started. Guess what the top 3 markets are for price crash? Yes, folks, according to Resi Club, we have 3 markets that have crashed from the 2022 peak. Obviously, remember, data is rather skewed, in my opinion. It's not year-on-year data. It's going back to the peak in 2022. You probably can guess number 1. Some of you will guess number 2. I think number 3 is a surprise. We'll go top down since number 1 is pretty known. Austin, Texas is down 23.2%. Folks, that is a crash no matter how you look at it. I will highlight that if you look at Austin over the last year, it's actually up, which a lot of people fail to highlight, but hey, it is what it is. Number 2, I think makes a lot of sense, and I might have gotten here. Punta Gorda, Florida. Obviously, they were hit by a hurricane, pretty nasty. There was a lot of inventory that's listed as hurricane damaged. And yes, it does not surprise me that this Florida city is number 2. Number 3 was a surprise to me, and it is New Orleans. New Orleans comes in at number 3. Oh, I failed to talk about number 2. Number 2 is down 16.9%, and New Orleans is down 16.2%. Looks like we did have some unfortunate activity yesterday. It looks like India bombed some sites in Pakistan. Frankly, what the heck is going on? I was hoping that we would have relative peace in the Middle East. We would see the confrontation between Israel and Gaza subside. We would have the Ukraine war, I was hoping would be behind us now, and now we got this India-Pakistan thing going off, which is not good. We don't need more killing and more death and any of that stuff. We need to get this behind us. President Trump did say that we do not have to sign deals, to which I said, oh, really? Oh, really? We don't need to sign deals? Okay. I do think that is maybe a voice of frustration. I assume that President Trump and his entire team are getting asked daily, likely hourly, where are the deals? Where are the deals? Where are the deals? And as expected, these deals are complicated. Even if you're negotiating with allies and friends, architecting deals of this stature, of this size, of this consequence, probably isn't fast or quick. But yes, I thought it was a very interesting message. And frankly, I disagree with it. You absolutely need to sign deals. We need to continue the positive momentum. We need to know that the sacrifice and the pain that we're all feeling is worth it. So I think that is probably a message set out of frustration, probably the wrong message, I guess, at least in my personal opinion. It looks like we do have some good news on the China front. Looks like Scott Bessent and others from the administration will officially start talks with China. Looks like they're going to be meeting with the Chinese counterparts on trade and other economic issues. Folks, the only way to get through this is to start talks. We can't just keep messaging, keep doing nothing and hope it gets better. So we see that is going. I do find it interesting that China came out and announced multiple measures to ease policy. You could think money printer go burr, and because they are trying to spur consumer consumption. They obviously are an export-focused country, and one of the ways, and perhaps the most important way that they can kind of neuter the what is going on with this trade war. It's not even a trade war. This is a trade embargo. When you have 145% tariffs, it's an embargo. Is to spur consumer consumption. So as expected, or at least as it looks like on the chessboard, China comes out and says, let's rain money down from the heavens and see if we can consumers to start spending. It is Fed Day. Fed Day today. Obviously, I think we all agree that we are going to get no cut. I think we all agree that the most important conversation will be Fed Chairman Powell in front of the microphone taking live fire Q&A. And what are the things I'm looking for? One, how many times or will he talk about what's more important, inflation or job weakness? Again, I think there's a lot of data pointing at stagflation. I think there's a lot of data highlighting, some soft data highlighting that the job market is weakening. And we're also seeing that inflation is a true risk higher. On that end, I do want to see if the Fed or Powell or somebody talk about deflation. I, again, am trying to highlight early and highlight often that deflation is the big risk, not inflation. If the Fed understands that deflation is the big risk, they will cut, and they might cut big. So that will be something I'm looking forward to. We also need to see that, hey, no cut in May, but is June and July live meetings? Fed Powell has been pretty clear recently, basically saying no, right? We've got a lot of data going this direction. We're going to stay on hold. Does the message get softer, right? Does Jerome Powell going from a hawk to more dovish? We did get a shocking update about weekly mortgages, folks. As we every Wednesday we get an update on mortgage demand, and this week was a surprise. Purchase applications up 11% week on week. That is a monster jump week on week. They're up 13% year on year. Refis were also up 11% week on week and 51% year on year. What might be going on? Well, first and foremost, we obviously know that home buyers have a lot more options. We have seen inventory up 30+% in much of the country. But why would purchase applications be up? Well, we might be seeing, at least in some markets, where we had the negative wealth effect. Remember, stocks were down 25% a few weeks ago. We were really at maximum levels of uncertainty. What I see going on the last 10 days or so is uncertainty is still bad. But it's not getting worse, right? We may have seen maximum uncertainty. Also, we have seen quite the snapback in the stock market. I think it's down only 2 or 3% at this point. So we have seen that negative wealth effect disappear. And let me talk about that, because one of the things that I know about consumers is if you're working at one of these tech companies and you're sitting on, I don't know, $1 million, And out of nowhere, unexpectedly, that $1 million goes to 600 grand, right? You took a 40% haircut in your wealth. You get nervous, you get upset, you're not doing anything because you've lost nearly half. However, that 600 grand over 2, 3, 4 weeks suddenly becomes 950 grand. Not quite back to $1 million, but certainly off the bottom. Guess what most consumers do? Most consumers will look at that 950 and go, wow, we got a chance to move some of our money. We need to get more liquid. We can't suffer that kind of loss. And a lot of folks will be selling their stocks and maybe buying real estate. They also could be sitting on cash just to build the kitty. But it is pretty interesting to watch consumers do the same thing over and over again. Ford is now hiking prices. Yes, folks, Ford is hiking prices on car models produced in Mexico, obviously citing tariffs. If you are a member of School or join School, one rental at a time, remember I will be going live Sunday at 8 a.m. Bring your questions. Also, we can do portfolio reviews if you like. If there's somebody out there watching this that has a real estate portfolio that would like to do a portfolio review, reach out to me either on School or direct message on Instagram. Would love to do that. Also, if you are in School, let me know who you'd like to listen to, who you want me to bring on so that we can interact and ask questions. So, folks, I hope you have an amazing day. Like, subscribe, comment. Don't forget to check me out on Spotify. All of our videos now, the audio portion, obviously, are going over to Spotify. Check us out. Subscribe there. That would be great. Join School. And lastly, again, like we started, the housing market is turning into a buyer's market in more and more of the country. Go check out Bigger Pockets video posted this morning with Scott Trench and I. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of that interview. Have fun, folks. Take care. Later.